Hello, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving my preview and prediction for the NFC Championship game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. My prediction is a 31-17 win for the Philadelphia Eagles. I know, you might instantly think, wow, of course, a homer. He's, looking for a huge blowout win by the Eagles. I don't necessarily think that. I think it's going to be relatively close most of the game, but I think the Eagles end up pulling out like a late touchdown to push it to 14 points, and then the defense holds kind of situation. I don't think it's like, the Eagles thrash them and the Commanders score garbage time touchdowns. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's more of mainly how a lot of Eagles wins go, where they have the lead and they're running the ball well and they just kind of put it away. And this time they actually, with the time and everything, that it's actually, over this time. Now, obviously, if you've been looking into this game, if you've heard about this game, the two biggest things on the Eagles side that they want to talk about is, one, Jalen Hurts just playing and / his knee, as well as Saquon Barkley. How can you stop Saquon Barkley? Just stack the box and stop Saquon Barkley. It's a bit ridiculous. But firstly, with Jalen Hurts, I think that his knee is okay. Do I think it's 100%? No. Do I think it's 50%? No. I think it's way higher than 50%. I think he's probably going to be okay. I think he's going to still run the football. The man is a playoff. He's always available. He wins football games. He does it because he would probably play through anything. I think if he didn't get taken out of the first Commanders, he would have played the whole time with a concussion and just never gave a shit. He's a warrior. I think a lot of quarterbacks would play through borderline anything in the playoffs. Like if Jaden Daniels had legitimately a broken rib, I think there's no way he's not going to play. And I don't think the knee is as serious. Mainly just kind of, it got crumpled up, but it didn't necessarily look like it was like a season ender type of situation. You know how knee injuries, you kind of know if it's a non-contact how bad it could be. I feel like it's more of just inflammation was what, he banged his knee, bent up a little weird. It swelled up and hurt on Sunday. Probably going to be stiff all week. But realistically, he's going to be fine to go. And I think he's going to play through it. And I think he's going to run because he knows he's going to have to run. If he can't run and they're playing it like that and Saquon Barkley's getting stopped and the passing game isn't working, I don't think he's going to sit there and be like, yeah, fuck it. We'll just not score points. I think if it was that bad, he would still throw his knee on the line. And I don't think it is that bad. There was videos of him doing rollouts and all this stuff in practice. He looked perfectly normal. Looked exactly how he always does, pretty much. He's never been very quick, so I don't think if people say, he doesn't look the quick, he never has. His 44-yard touchdown was probably the slowest 44-yard touchdown I can remember watching, honestly. It was the weirdest thing ever watching him run that. And not getting caught also. But I think Jalen will be fine. I think if they also have to throw because the Commanders, throw literally the fucking kitchen sink at Barkley, I think with the conditions, everything like that, I think A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and hopefully Dallas Goedert, if he's not injured, win their one-on-ones, win the battles, get open, and make catches. And not drop balls, for Christ's sake. Those are the two big things with the Eagles side. And versus to go on to the Commanders side, obviously stopping the run is the biggest thing possible for them. That's what everyone is talking about. Yep, that's what they got to do. No one's really done it this season for 4 quarters besides the Steelers. So, it's such a prove it by actually doing it. You can sit there and say that's what you need to do. You can sit there and say that's your game plan, all this stuff. Actually do it to make it believable that you can. If he runs 200 yards, Eagles win, it's going to be painful as an Eagles fan thinking the Super Bowl, that's all they're going to talk about for 2 weeks now. And no one has done it. Why, prove me fucking wrong by doing it. it was also the Steelers' really good defense, where the Commanders' rush defense has not been great this season. Their EPA per play was like second worst. Stuff like that. There's a lot of stats. They have improved throughout the season, for sure. But overall, I don't think it's like this fair thing to be like, yeah, they're definitely going to shut down Saquon Barkley. That seems a little ridiculous to me. And I don't even know, because if a Commanders fan would think like 120 yards is a win, like I still think you didn't really shut him down. He still ran 120 yards type of situation, right? So it can get a little weird. I mean, if he runs for 200, then the Eagles should like blowout win. The other side with the Commanders is Jaden Daniels. He's been goddamn unbelievable. He's been insanely good. He looks poised, which is probably the biggest thing for a lot of, playoff quarterbacks. He's not fucking up. He's not making the mistakes. He's not throwing picks or, his decision making has been so good for a rookie of understanding what it takes to win. But he's also doing that while performing exceptionally well. One sneaky thing I think in this matchup that will be big is if Commanders offense and it's 3rd and short or 4th and short, I do not think that in any situation they should turn around and hand the ball off to like Brian Robinson or something, because I think if they do that, I think the Eagles will probably stuff it 8 out of 10 times type of situation. Like I would feel very confident as an Eagle if they just try to hand it off and run in for a yard. Eagles this whole season have been very good for those type of situations against the run. You will be able to, gash them every now and then. But I think on the short field, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, stuff like that, I think you just have Jaden Daniels have the ball, doing some play action, bootleg type of situation. If it's open, he runs it. If it's not, have someone to throw it to type of thing. I think that's where the Eagles defense could get hurt on 3rd and short, 4th and short situations. But I would feel as an Eagles fan so confident if they decide to just try and hand it off to get the yard that there's no way in hell that would happen. And to be fair, I don't think the Commanders would do that, because they did it the second game against the Eagles early at like close to midfield with Brian Robinson. He got stuffed. He got destroyed and lost like 2 yards. Let Jaden Daniels, what he's been doing this whole playoffs, keep doing it. I think that's by far their number one way to succeeding is putting it on his shoulders. I don't think that's crazy to say. As an Eagles fan, you should be expecting this. You should expect the Commanders to try and ride Jaden Daniels to cut through the defense and hope that they can stop Barkley. And even if that happens, Jalen Hurts could still throw, pass well, throw it to A.J. Brown, throw it to Devontae Smith, good weapons, and win the game that way. But overall, I do think that the Eagles defense should do so much better. The crazy thing I saw is that in the first matchup, they blitzed him 5 times out of, I think it was 39 pass dropbacks or something like that, which is typical for Vic Fangio and the Eagles defense. They like to play a lot of soft zone and kind of let everything come to them. A lot of dump-offs. Second game, they decided to blitz, I think, 20 times out of 40. 50%, which is fucking ridiculous. Why you'd ever do that. I don't know why they decided to blitz all of a sudden, because they never do. They did that game. I don't know if it was because like CJ Gardner-Johnson got kicked out and Hurts being out and just the game flow and everything. They thought they needed to do something else on defense. Did not work. Every team that blitzes Jaden Daniels finds out quickly that he's going to absolutely fuck you up. Todd Bowles found out, Aaron Glenn found out, and Aaron Glenn decided, let's just keep doing it and let him keep destroying us and hopefully he fucks up. He didn't. He kept destroying them. So my hope is that the Eagles look at the second game, look at the playoff games, and are like, okay, when we blitz, we have to do it very situationally, and we cannot do it often, because he knows what to do. If he knows it's a blitz, he knows exactly where to dump it off, find the open guy like instantly. And with the big injury on the Commander side of their right guards out, they have a new right guard in who lines up literally straight on with Jalen Carter, who the D-line is very stretched with the Eagles usually, so he'll probably be on the outside shoulder, making it harder to double team him. Is typically how they'll do stuff like that. But I think Jalen Carter basically should and would need to help the Eagles just destroy that matchup, just to cause havoc. He's been unreal. He is a game wrecker. He is that good of a talent. Going against the biggest weak link in the Commanders' O-line should lead to him doing some very important things. They're going to the Commanders obviously know that as well, so I assume they have certain game plans for how to combat that, but realistically, Jalen Carter should take over that aspect, which would be huge for the defense to cause a bunch of shit going on and hopefully get turnovers. Jaden Daniels has thrown a fourth quarter interception both games against the Eagles in under 5 minutes, so that's good for us. The Eagles had the lead both times. It should have cemented both games. It should have been game enders, both of them, but the second one wasn't the case. And the other last little part is Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over. He hasn't in a long time. He just doesn't in the playoffs. So if he has 2 interceptions, the Eagles are going to lose. It's guaranteed they lose at that point. He has to be safe with the ball. They need to keep possessions, grind it out, right? How they've played the entire season. I don't think the Eagles should change their kind of game plan now. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be able to run enough to make it so that they can do that. The Commanders had 5 turnovers against the Lions, and they won by 2 touchdowns. And realistically, the Lions were in that game a lot longer than they should have, mainly because their offense just produces so many. It's disgusting how good the Lions' offense is, but their defense is absolutely atrocious. So getting the 5 turnovers by far was the switch up the advantage in that Commanders game. And I would say the timing of the turnovers was so big for the Commanders against the Lions. You had a red zone fumble that you recovered. You had a pick 6 right after you got the lead. You had a interception in the end zone right before half. The amount of points that they actually took over in just those 3 turnovers in critical moments is such a big swing. The Jamison Williams one, the timing was super stupid for the Lions, but it wasn't necessarily they're in the red zone or anything like that, the field positioning type of situation. It turned into just an early punt because he just fucking heaved it up, it was ridiculous. And the last one being end of game pick in the red zone. Yeah, shit happens. But I think if the Eagles don't make self-enforced errors, and they did that against the Rams and pulled it off, thank God. But if they tighten up a lot of mental mistakes, little mistakes, don't turn the ball over, the weather should be perfectly fine, which I think is better for the Eagles, just being honest in the fact that I realized this after the last game. Snow has a big ability to potentially even the playing fields for a more talented team playing a team that they, on paper are better than. Snow can, close the gap a bit, which I think happened in the Rams game. I know Snow helps run game more and pass game, stuff like that, but it fucked the Eagles passing game because Hurts really couldn't throw through the snow. So I don't know. But overall, if you're an Eagles fan, I hope you're happy with my prediction. If you're a Commanders fan, you can tell me how stupid I am. I do just think that the Eagles are going to just play how they play. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run it early and often. Jalen Hurts is going to be able to run the ball when he needs to run the ball. I think he'll pick up some first downs. I don't think he's going to do anything too much. I don't think he's going to do anything too little. I think he'll throw the ball fine because I don't think the Commanders are really that worried. If they are, well, then hopefully Saquon Barkley just, gashes him. And on the Commanders side, I feel like it's stop Barkley and hopefully Jaden Daniels, pulls off some magic and the Eagles defense decides to blitz him all the time for Lord knows what reason. Because if they do, I think Jaden Daniels will continue to just cut through every defense that decides to blitz him. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your prediction and thoughts in the comments. Consider leaving a like, helps the channel a bunch. Consider subscribing. I will be back on Monday. Hopefully it's not a doom video of the Eagles losing, but we'll see. Let's have a great game. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully everyone's healthy and plays. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Go Birds.